Hello guys, and welcome to GA Flying. Today we are in Iceland, Reykjavik, and we will be doing a full flight with the Cessna 413, the Chancellor from Flysimware. Today I will show you two custom airports. One of those airports is totally for free, and the other one is payware. Sadly, the free one needs some adjustments and fixes to make it work, but I do guarantee you it is worth it, and we will see it. Okay. When it comes to Iceland, this is no surprise. I was saying in my prior videos that I wanted to visit it, and there is a good reason. Because I will be flying there in 2 weeks, as I just want to make some scouting. This is something that I like to do, so visiting the places where I will be doing vacation in a flight sim, right? Because nowadays we do have this possibility. That's saying I was flying in Iceland before, but I didn't see everything. And now I just want to see some of those most famous landmarks. Okay. It's also a great opportunity to test out the Cessna because it does have full anti-icing capabilities and it is pretty fast, so it should be the perfect plane for today. As you can see, the weather is not so bad. I mean, it's not bad and not good, but actually I've checked the weather that should come after it because we needed to turn back the time a little bit, and it should be getting nicer when the first sun rays arrive. That saying, I did want to start it in the morning just to show you the awesome inside lighting of this plane, which is really one of the high points of this one. So let's talk about the Flysimware. It's actually pretty old already when it comes to MSFS planes. I think it's 3 years old, and it was updated a lot, right? Pretty much that there was a period where every week pretty much we could expect a new update for it, mostly on Discord, right? So there was a lot of downloading, but now it is stable, and the most important part is that it won't get better. Okay, so what I mean by this is that I asked the developers if there will be a native 2024 version that would be worth waiting for, but they said no, the version that is there is already working fine with 2024, so they are not planning any big updates, right? So for us this means that we can do a showcase now. There will be nothing coming anymore, right? That's saying this plane is pretty awesome, and I will also talk about this one, although not everything is so great, at least for me, for my preferences, but I will also try to summarize it, and you will also see it during the flight. When it comes to the livery, this is a custom livery that I will link in the description. I do think it's slightly more detailed than the standard ones, but maybe it's just like the placebo effect, hard to say. But the other ones seemed like they are a little bit less detailed, and also the material and the paint wasn't so realistic looking, but maybe it's just a me thing. Okay guys, so when it comes to general stuff, this will be a full, well, maybe not review, but a full flight. So there will be chapters, so if you want to jump to any specific time frame phase of the flight, feel free to do it. Okay, the chapters are both in the description and in the progress bar that you see on YouTube. And with this, I think we can start. Let me just check the weather again. Oh, no sunshine anymore, so let's hope that this will improve. Okay. Okay. Okay, and let us just get in. Okay, so some nice sounds. Okay, let's hope there is no icing yet. I think it should be around 4 degrees, so we should be almost safe, right? Let's just turn it on. Okay, so the battery is here. We will start with the battery. This way we are also losing our flashlight, but I think it's bright enough. Still, we can turn on night lighting, and as I said, this is one of the highlights of the plane. looks really awesome. Okay, so other stuff that we will need is obviously the fuel. Okay, and before we proceed with like the remaining actions that we have to take here, we will obviously do the walk around. So this is not a 2024 native walk around, it's kind of simplified, but it's also pretty original because it was created before we had those like official possibilities to do those walk arounds, right? So here we are inside, so we will just move along the lines here. Okay. So this is the entry. We already have the passengers loaded, so let's not open it now. I will show it to you like at the end of the flight. Okay, it's secured. See the passenger looking at us, pretty creepy. Here we can, if we want to, we can check out the lockers, right? They seem to be locked properly. Here, depending on the view, we can or we can't like take off all of the stuff. I think in this view we can't yet. Okay, so let us proceed. This seems fine. We have taken off the covers here. Not in all of them you can look around. For some of them it's blocked for some reason, right? So it seems like here, okay, the stall warning detector, right? It's fine. Okay, here we can take those off, but like there's nothing exciting inside. So let's just proceed. Here we can finally, can we? Or is it maybe not yet, right? Because many of those views look like you can do something already, but in the end you can't. This is something new. We can take a look at the engine here. Okay. Let's proceed. Oh, here we can take those off. Yeah, but this one, not yet. Okay, here we can check the oil, but like, oops. Okay, I guess patience is needed. Sadly, I cannot see anything. Right, so it's like mostly for role playing because the failures in this one are pretty limited, and I will also talk about this one. Oh, I still have this chuck here. Okay, oh no. Okay, so as you can see, a lot of micro views here where you are limited in what you can do. Okay. Now I can take this one. To be honest, when I'm flying it, normally I'm just skipping the walk around because I do like walk arounds, but most of the time when they are actually doing something, right? And here it's pretty much just for role playing. Okay, here we can open, can we? I was able to do it, let me just, yeah. Can I not? Maybe it's not the view yet, because I'm sure I was able to open like the lockers. Oh, okay. Okay, I can. Here. I can't, so maybe it's just for this one. Okay. So pitot tubes, covers, and like the view can get blocked for some reason. Now I cannot look around anymore. Okay, can we open them up here? No, but we can open them up from the tablet if we want to. So let me just show you. Oh, there is even a light here, and this is like the emergency nitrogen bottle that can allow you to drop down the gear if you have an emergency with the gear. So as the nose is very long in this one, there is also a lot of like packing space here. Okay, let me go back to the walk around. Here, okay, I think it's some kind of outflow. Sadly, there's like no description or not even like a name for the position where you are at, as far as I know. We do have cowl flaps here, which I will show you during the flight. Okay, so let's not open this one. It's just the same oil testing door, I guess. Okay, let's get rid of those. Once again, let's take a look at the engine. It's okay. It's nice that we have the opportunity. Oh, locker, I guess. Or no, just another. Yeah. Okay, Anything to take off here? I don't think so. Oh, we can check the fuel. Okay, so it's similar like in A2A planes, just without, I think, a failure possible. So once again, just for the role playing, the same, you could take a look into the tank, but it will be okay. Okay, let me see. Okay, can I? No. It's annoying that it's so limiting. Okay, can I take those off? Yeah, I can. Okay, this seems fine. Once again, we can take a look into the locker. Static ports seem fine. Can I take this one off? No, I will have to wait. Okay, let's get rid of those. And of this one. And this is the important part, because without this, like, the rudder steering will not work, right? So it needs to be unlocked. So this is the most important part of the walk around. You can also like disable it. So like from the tablet, right? So you don't need to come here if you don't like walk arounds. Okay, static parts. And this was it. I mean, it's fun to do it 2 times maybe. But I'm just not a person that likes walk arounds when there's like nothing to do there and they are so long, right? Because for example, in the Tecnam 2012, I think, there's also a walk around that doesn't do much, but it's like very short and like fun because of it. So I'm also doing it like for roleplay. Okay, so let me just, let me see if it's not too cold. Yeah, it is too cold. Okay, so I will just remember this one. And once again, the camera here is kind of, oh, now I can hide. Okay, actually, if you don't do the walk around, the camera is totally fine, like for most of the flight. So then it's not a problem. Really low voltage just because I had those on. Well, maybe that's okay. Let's see. Okay, so fuel, that's fine. Magnetos, so this almost flies like the Cessna 310, if you have it. Okay, we're starting with the alternators on. There is no beacon light, so we will just turn on the navigation lights, okay, because we don't have much choice on what lights we want to use. I can show you like the outside view. And as you can see, like the weather is almost better now. Okay, so let me just make sure that we got everything. And the lights are pretty nice, even if it's kind of bright-ish, they are still visible. Okay, so we do want the propellers forward, and we do want the mixture forward, cracking the throttles just a little bit. Okay, and here first we need to prime, 3 seconds, 2, 3. Okay, nice. We can also open the window. There's like a 2-step process to opening the window. Let me just make sure we don't get too much RPM, and I will just make it a little, I will pull down the volume because I can see it's loud for you guys. Okay, so let's do the same here, just so we have the experience of hearing the engine like being started. Okay, and the other way, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so the sound effects are really great. So this is definitely one of the strong sides of this plane. Okay, so now that we have it, we can turn on the avionics. Okay, let me just close the windows for a second. When we will be taxiing, I will open them again, so you can listen to the engines. But now I prefer you to listen to me. Okay. Okay, so this is all. Now we can use the heating, because as you could see, it was pretty cold, right? So here is the heating switch, cabin heating. Okay. And here is the heating turn knob. And then we need to open one of those like outflows, right, for cabin air. And it should be getting warmer and warmer for us. Okay, we do have a nice custom weather radar, and let's talk about the cockpit. Okay, so as you can see, I think it looks pretty nice. I think now we can turn this on. Yeah, we got rid of the slow voltage. Okay, but one important thing is that, similar as in the Just Flight Piper, you need to have texture resolution to more than medium. This is also one of those rare planes where the difference between medium and high is like very, very high. So high enough that I wouldn't fly it with medium at all. Okay. Okay. So is there anything that we want to? We can prepare the taxi light here. This is the strobe and this is the landing light, so we don't need them now. When it comes to the anti-ice select here, this is the windshield heat, and it should go on to low if we are below 4 degrees Celsius. And I've checked the weather and now it's 9 degrees. Okay, so we don't need it yet. Okay, and this is pretty much it when it comes to the plane. It's like pretty simplistic, I guess, but like the fun is all of those like custom retro instruments that we have here. Actually, I can also show you like the fuel calculator because it's not so easy to understand in the beginning. I hope I will not mess it up. Okay. So now it shows us like the gallons remaining, so 40 gallons. And I think we should have more fuel for sure. Okay, so let us open our tablet. Let me just take a look here. Okay, so 102. Okay, and we probably need even more. So let me just pull this here. Let's go. Not a fan of like those sliders that you cannot just like set to one setting. Okay, 124. Okay, and here it's 40. Okay, so we need to calculate the difference. So this will be 84, right? Right, I think so. Okay. So what we need to do is use this one. Don't use fill up because it will just do the maximum. Click it again, add gallons, and we need to add 84. So we don't need the 0, okay? So let's click it again. Now we need this one, okay? Now this one, okay? Verify, enter. And we have 124, okay? If you mess it up, then what you need to do to reset it is turn off the battery, okay? Then click this test button when the battery is turned off, and then turn the battery again on, and it will be at 0, okay? So in general, this side of the functions is the pre-flight side, and this side of the functions is the flight side. If we click on test, we can see all of the options here. Okay, so this is a pretty cool like gadget. And the weather radar is also nice, custom. It shows the weather, but also like the map view. Okay, so for this, let's turn the transponder on. Let's set it to altitude. When it comes to the altimeter, sadly, it's only like the American units here. So I've checked it, and it's actually very, very low. It's 29.23. Okay. Okay. Other stuff that we want to set up, we'll be cruising at around 5,000, I think. So let me just pull this down. The maximum cruising altitude is 30,000 because this is fully pressurized. That's saying today we will not use pressure. We will not use the pressurization, right? Because we will be only cruising at 5,000, so we can just depressurize the plane. So it will not even try to pressurize. If you would pressurize the plane, you will just set up your cruising altitude here, like you know it from other planes, right? One interesting thing is that if you want to play around with the lights here, then you can hide the levers to make it easier. Okay, now we are standing on the ground for longer. I don't want to foul the plugs, so let's just turn down the mixture a little bit. Okay, so other stuff, obviously you can play around with radio navigation with this one. So VOR1 is here and VOR2 is here, and this is like pretty cool because this one works. So you can just do it like this one and set up like VOR2, I mean NAV2, right? When it comes to the other options that you have here, there's also like a, the weather was supposed to be better and not worse. Okay, so the other option is, I can show you, because there's like a manual with a lot of photos. This is the other option. So you're not only getting like a much more modern GPS suite, right? But you're also getting a more modern autopilot that also, for example, has IAS, right? And here with this one, we don't have IAS. We only have vertical speed here. Okay, let me just see if there's anything that I want to do. Not really, I guess. We can take a look at this airport because I said that I want to show you like two nice airports. This is actually the payware one. This is Reykjavik. Whoa, this wind. Okay. When I was flying around here yesterday, it was like beautiful, calm weather. So I guess YouTube factor once again, right? Okay, let me just go to outside view. Make sure it's not too loud. Oh, some pretty strong lights. And let's go to drone camera mode. Okay, and let's fly around this one. So this is a smaller national airport, so like not an international one, but the one for in-country flights, right, on Iceland. And when you are buying this payware airport, you are also getting Keflavik, which is a much bigger airport, the international one. And it's kind of, well, not in the same place, but it doesn't take long to fly there. They are pretty close by. I've chosen this one because this is more of this like GA airport, and also we are in the city center of Reykjavik pretty much, so we will be able to take a look at some of the landmarks there. Okay, so just a quick sweep here. It's okay. I mean, Keflavik, as I said, that you're getting with this one is also nice, but it's just a lot of nothing around it, right? Because there's just like rock pretty much, and not that many buildings in both of those. Okay, pretty much what you can expect in Iceland. Okay, so let's go back to our great plane. Okay, the textures load, I guess. Maybe they are loaded already. Cowl flaps, this is the closed position. They are being opened only for takeoff and climb, pretty much. Okay, so let me look at my list. Is there anything else that I wanted to talk about? No, I think you have covered everything, so we are ready to taxi. Let me just open the windows so you can listen to the engines. And also pull it down a little bit. Okay, and let me show you our taxiway. So we are at Hotel 1. The wind is coming from 90, right? So we will be starting from here. So we need to go Juliet 4, Romeo, Romeo 1, backtrack, and we will start like this. Actually, maybe I can also like show you the cabin, because not everyone knows it, right? There are curtains, which is already great. This is a mirror that many people don't like, and actually in all of those like custom modes for the interior, they are pretty much removing it. I think they have improved it, because in the past it was like very bright and bad looking, and now because it's like so tarnished, right, and darker, it's not so bad, I guess. Okay. One downside is that if you want to add passengers, there is no way to make them invisible, right? But you do have a choice, like of different passenger models, and here you can also select like a kit that will be sitting here. So there is some choice, but there is no choice to make them invisible. Okay? I do like this interior. Actually, I can show you some of the other mods that I have seen on Flysimware. So here's, for example, one interesting interior pack, another one with those hares, right, rabbits, and another one. Sadly, I haven't tested them out yet on 2024, right, so I'm not sure if they work. But this livery, this like outside livery, was also marked as only for 2020, and still I'm using it now, right, without any problems. So I would just assume that like many of those mods for 2020 will also work in 2024. Okay, so let me just make sure everything is off here. Now it's too hot. Okay, so let's just pull this down. We don't need to be too sweaty for this one. Okay, and I think we can go. It's nice that we can still see the lights here. Oh, one thing about windshield heating is that it's only working for this one windshield. Actually, this one is made with glass, and this is plexiglass, so plastic, right? Okay. So let me just turn this off. Yeah, the lights really look great in this one. Okay. Actually, maybe let's set up where we want to fly. Okay, because with this visibility, normally I would fly VFR, right? But today, I'm not so sure this will be a good idea. Okay, so let me just set up our destination. Okay. Okay. And we can start. Whoops. Let me just look outside. Look at some bearings or on where we want to cross. Can we cross here? Yeah, I think we cross here and go over there. Okay. Yeah, this wind, seriously. It was supposed to be like a relaxed sightseeing tour today, but I hope it will improve, right? Okay, so handbrake is here. I mean, like parking brake. And let's start. When it comes to like the taxiing, for me it's okay. I mean, it feels stable and heavy, but only if I have many passengers. And this is also something that like repeats for the flying, that I'm not a big fan of how it feels when it's like empty or close to being empty. It seems a little bit too twitchy for me then. Let me just see. I'm kind of afraid because I don't think I have flown it or started it, right, with a wet runway. So we will see how this will work out. Yeah, no wipers, sadly. Let's take a look outside. Yeah, like always, not on the line. Okay, and here we already have the runway, so let us prepare. So anti-collision is strobes, right? And the landing lights need to first, because they are off, right? So let me just show you. Now they are going down and will turn on. Oh yeah, sky. Okay, maybe not so bad. Okay, let's wait for it. Now. Okay, nice. As you can see, there is some like problems with like textures spawning in, but like during the flight, it's not really a problem for me. Okay, so we do want pitot heat and we do want stall warning heat. Okay. And let's open the cowl flaps because we will need them for the start. Oops. Okay. And also those pumps, right? For the start, they should be too high. And then later in a climb and descent, they are too low. And during the cruise, it's not specified in the manual. So I would assume it's either low or like turned off. Okay, they are only backup pumps in this case, because we do have the engine-driven ones. Okay, and let's get the radar. This is the map, right? The terrain radar. And here's the... is it? No, sorry. Here is the weather radar. Oh, looks great. Very promising. Okay, and let's turn off the heating, so we will get full power. Although I think it's like a separate heating mechanism that is doing it. So it's not really stealing like bleed air in this case. Okay, let me just set up my view. And we can do a run up. Okay, 1600 RPM. Let me see if it's not too loud. Okay. Okay, magneto check. The movement is like very slow here. Okay. Doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad. Okay, there was like a slight drop on the last one. And now let's exercise the propellers. Okay, nice. And let's pull down to 1000 RPM. Okay, and with this we seem to be ready to start, although with this wind I'm not sure if I am ready. Okay. The continuous sound you can hear are the pumps. Okay, looks very promising. Let me do an outside view. Okay, and we pretty much have the sea here. Is there like a place to turn around? Oh, we're like close to the wall here. Okay. Yeah. The weather isn't great, and I think we can handle it. Okay, and it will be coming from 90, right? So kind of from here. So we need to be prepared for it. Okay, so let me just step on the brakes. And let me see if we have everything. So lights are on, anti-ice is on, cabin heat is off. And this is on, fuel pumps are like too high. And we have propeller full, mixture full. This is fine, cowl flaps are open, transponder is on, we can do altitude reporting, okay, it's done, and we can fly. This is like a turbocharged engine, right? So we will go to the full red band, but it doesn't mean like full throttle, right? Because there will be some throttle left. Let's think if we would go full throttle, there's this waste gate which will just like waste the additional pressure that we built up. Okay, so let's do it then. Guess I can close the window. Click. Make sure this one is closed, this closed, okay. I will make it a little bit louder for you guys and we'll stop talking just so you can listen to the takeoff sounds. Veer into the wind. .95 is the rotation. Okay. Oops. There are no flaps being used. Oh, if this will be the weather. I'm not sure about sightseeing today, but we will see. Okay, gear up. Okay, so as you can see to the left, there are some of those like old churches here that are the landmarks. I will just... we're really being thrown around here. Okay. It was such nice weather yesterday. But this is also something about like the end of September and October in Iceland, that it's pretty much the worst month when I'm visiting. This is also the stadium that I wanted to show you. So I think we can... Are we flying like sideways almost? Yeah. Okay, so let me just put this down. Yeah, nice wind. And what we see before us, like this snow of light, I mean this column of light, is actually called the Imagine Peace Memorial, and it's a memorial for John Lennon, like made by his wife. Okay, normally it should be open, like it should be active from the 9th of October, I think, but in the sim it's always on, right? So you can always take a look. Okay, let's just do a turn here. Oh god. Okay. Let me just turn on the yaw damper. Okay, will be nicer. And RPM for the climb to 2500. Am I pulling the right one? No. Yeah, so what I wanted to say is that like October is not the best month to visit, just because there is the changes of the seasons pretty much in Iceland. So it's not snow season yet, and it's no longer like summer anymore, but like there is a very violent change in the weather, so you never know if you will have like a beautiful day, a day where it will be only like raining and there will be a lot of wind, or if snow will start already. Right? Okay. Let me just take a look. Is there anything that I can show you here? Oh, come on, the weather forecast was pretty good. I was hoping for some awesome views. And in general, when it comes to Iceland, but like also Norway, Denmark and others, they were updated in World Update 15, right? So if you want all of those details, you have to download it. Okay, fun. Let's take a look at the temperature. It's around 10 degrees Celsius, right? So it should... Sorry, almost flipped my plane. Okay, nice weather, thank you. Real weather flying. So let's maybe go back to our path. Nice, feels like a storm. Okay, let's keep it as stable as possible. Just looking at the instruments. Fun. Okay, the gear is up. For a moment I was thinking I did forget about this one. Okay, and now we can take a look at the wonderful scenery. Okay. I just want to do like a flyover over the airport, because there is a very interesting university building. Okay, so now I can see the runway, so this is fine. And what we'll be flying over is this like university. It's like a very modern looking round building. Can we see it? Yeah, this is this one. Okay guys, so I guess that this was Reykjavik. Yeah, the funny thing is that I even like I've played around with the time, right? And I like moved it to the later hours, and it was like beautiful weather over Reykjavik. So I'm not sure how the logic here works with like real weather that is being like rewinded, right? Okay, let me add some power. Okay, and it's nice that we at least have the terrain here on our GPS. So let me just... Now it should be fine. I wanted to show you like the two fjords, I guess. So we are over like the Imagine Peace Memorial here. And we will try to fly into one of those fjords. Okay, maybe we will gain some more visibility. And just pull back the view so you will be able to like enjoy more of those signs. Okay, and at this stage we can close the cowl flaps because we are not really climbing. Oops, have I done it? Almost. Stable, so outside view. Yeah, but the strange feeling this might be a problem with our sightseeing. Okay. Let me just so we will here fly along this way. Yeah, I do really hope like for a beautiful clearing suddenly. Like the flight simulation gods will bless us. Okay, let's do the turn. This is how my vacation will look like. Yeah, they are saying that like in October, if it's like raining, it's always raining. Oops, let me... Too much talking, not enough flying, so let us gain some height. So when it's raining, then it's raining horizontally, and because of the wind. Doing some really bad things to the plane, sadly. Yeah, okay, let's just try to gain some height, right? Maybe it's like very low clouds. Okay, let's go full power. Let's just get out of this one. Can we expect better views? I do have my doubts, especially with this one building up here. I mean, okay, we can see something. Just like a wall of cloud for us. Okay, but we seem to be at least safe here. Okay, you can clearly see like the fjord borders, right? The mountains around it. Okay, so let me set the heading back. Okay, the autopilot is here. Okay, let's make sure it's on heading and on altitude hold. Okay, and now we have our hands free. But it starts to look nice, I guess. Let's get some cinematic shots here. can even see like the beautiful landscape here. The nose is really long. No wonder they can like pack so much baggage in there. Oh, there seems to be like a clearing, so maybe there's hope. Yeah, this looks amazing. Okay, so what is our plan? Normally I wanted to fly to the end of this fjord because there is like an interesting national park there. I'm not sure if it will be visible. Okay, for now let's just take control and fly along this fjord here. Okay, so let's talk about maybe the manifold pressure as we have some time now. You are moving it to full, but only for the takeoff, right? For all other phases of flight, you should be only moving within the green band. And it's actually the only custom failure that is noted in the manual of the plane, that if you will be outside of the green for too long, then you might lose power in the engine. Is there anything visible? Not really. Okay, nice. We can do like a passenger view. Whoa. Okay, so it was worth it to almost die above Reykjavik. This really looks amazing. And even like those stormy clouds make it look even better. Can we see the lights if we turn them on? I think it's too bright already, sadly, because they also like have a nice effect. You can use the table, and there's even like custom sounds for it. Okay, so let's just continue. Maybe the weather will be even better. Oh yeah, actually, this is where we want to fly, well, more or less. Okay. So can I fly along the fjord, or can I not fly around the fjord? I'm not sure. The weather is really giving us a hard time here. Is there a clearing in the clouds or not really? Yeah, sadly, I don't think so. So let's just move around. Yeah, so in general, coming back to the flight model, without passengers it's too light for me, but with passengers it feels really good and stable. So I'm not sure if I have like seen that much of a difference in other planes really. They do kind of like improve the flight model all of the time. So the current flight model is also not the one that was there like for most of the existence of the plane, right? Because the current flight model, from what I could see, comes from 2025, right? I think May something, so they are still improving stuff. Plus, this is 2024, right? So it might feel a little bit different than it feels in 2020. I just like the weather radar. It's unlimited bad weather. Okay. And we are being flown to the side pretty much. Okay, let me see if it's not icing conditions. It's actually around 5, 6, I guess. So maybe let's do drop anti-ice. Okay. Oh, and here we can already see like the center of the island, which is like covered in snow and very hilly. Right? So as far as I know, in many seasons they are closing the roads going through the center of the island. Okay, so for now let me just turn this on, autopilot. Okay, not bad. Okay, this was a little bit over dramatic in the beginning, especially with this like violent dive to one moment. But I think we have fixed it as much as possible. Let me just get the map, because as I said, when I was flying here before, it was always VFR. Do you see like we are being flown to the side? It's really crazy. Okay, so let's just correct a little bit into the wind. Okay, and let's set up some climbing, because we will want to go over those mountains. Oh, we are really looking great. Okay. Either way, let's arm the altitude, turn off altitude hold, and just use this one to get some vertical speed. I'm not sure if the autopilot will be able to hold it with so much wind. We will see. Okay. Oh, the whole plane is dancing. Okay, so let me, I'm just not sure if I can leave the plane here and be safe. Okay, for a moment. So we'll be flying here, and I do want to use this NDB because this is a nice safe way in. It's free fall. Okay, so let's go to the NDB. Let's make sure we are not stalling. Okay, let's add some manifold pressure. And let's go free fall. Okay, this is the ADF. Okay, and here on the RMI we should see the NDB once we are in range. Okay, I'm not bad. Maybe we can even do like a short outside view. Yes, we can pull down the propellers a little bit more, because they are not supposed to be. They are only supposed to be at 2,500 for the climb, right? Let's make sure they are synchronized. Okay. Maybe we will see something and we will not die. Okay, altitude alert, because we should be at 4,000, right, and the target is 5,000. This weather really, I'm not sure if we will be able to land safely, but we will see. The destination airport is like beautiful. I hope we will see it. Also the approach to it is beautiful. Okay, so what did I want to do? Oh, outside it, right? Some real eye candy. Yeah, the ground looks great. This is also something that they have improved in World Update 15. I'm not sure if I have actually, like, apart from preparing for this video, right, if I have flown in Iceland after the World 15 World upgrade, right? because I think I remember that like the ground textures were much worse than what you can see here. This looks really great. Yeah, and like this haze here, this like those clouds that for sure will be causing icing also look great. So one nice thing about this plane is that we also have like here anti-ice, like surface anti-ice for the wings, right? And for the horizontal stabilizer. Okay, so let's go back in because we need to prepare for this. Maybe we can just move here. Well, this was not planned. So guys, once again, please tell me, do you prefer live weather, even if it means that we will have surprises like this one and maybe we'll not see all of those landmarks? Or do you want me like to make sure and guarantee with fake weather that the experience will be exactly like it should, right? Please let me know. Do like a nice passenger view. I mean, this looks unreal. Yeah, I'm just afraid that like most people have turned off the video in the very beginning when there was nothing visible. Hello. She looks kind of depressed a little bit. You can also like put baggage here and then it will be visible. Visuals. I'm a little bit afraid of this. Looks like Polish mafia. Okay, I'm from Poland, so I'm allowed to say it. Also a nice view. Yeah, I think it's one of those like planes that maybe don't have all of those failures and wear and tear and are not super advanced, but I just enjoy flying them because of like the cozy atmosphere inside. Okay, so maybe we are out of the worst weather. When it comes to cruise, okay, so I guess we can say that we are kind of cruising. When it comes to cruise, there are nice cruising tables in the manual in the very beginning. Let me show it. So for example, we are at 5,000 feet, right? And it's, I don't see it. I think it's close to zero. Yeah, looks like close to zero. So let me just take a look. So let's say we are around 5, right? We are at 5,000. The RPM, it's shaking so much. The RPM, let's pull it down to 2,300 because it's the recommended setting. This is 1, 2, 3, yeah, kind of. Okay, so let's do propeller sync, and also we don't need those to be at high. For the cruise, they are either for low or turned off. Right? We need to take a look at the temperatures. They should not fall under I'm not sure if it's 1,000, never remember, but like 1,350, right? So this is also something that we will need to watch out during the descent. Okay, so either way, we have 1, 2, 3, okay, 2,300. So let's go back to our manual. Okay, so 5,300, and we want a lot of power, okay. So 30 for the manifold pressure. Let me just see. Okay, so this much. It'll be nice and fast. because we are kind of flying a curve already. Okay. Okay, so we will have 80% power. The true airspeed should be around 189. Is it the true one? Yeah, I guess if we are looking at the true, we are almost like on point, and we can also lean a little bit just to hit the numbers that they are wanting us to hit. So 274, like pounds per hour. Okay. So this is in gallons, right? So this much. So this is over 300, right? And they are recommending 274. Okay, so just pull it down. Can we even reach it? Let me just take another look. 2300 on the RPM, okay. Manifold 34, okay, it's here. Speed is kind of okay, yeah, I guess. And the fuel flow is supposed to be 274. Well, so it's higher, but at the same time it's a little bit colder. Okay, let's pull it down more. What bad can happen, right? Okay, so this is 200. Oh, okay, so it went down nicely. 274. Okay. So it should be around this one. Okay, well, everything works out nicely. Which makes me really afraid that something bad will happen in a second. Okay, nice. And we are even joining here our path. 70 miles, okay, because we kind of have done like a big curve in this case. So let me just join the magenta path here. So in general, I really like those instruments. I have to say, like, other than them being custom and old and nicely modeled, everything in this plane is also like quick to operate, I guess, which I really appreciate. The only thing which is like totally awkward is the flaps lever, because it's here. So it's kind of, normally you're sitting here. So even if you look here, you cannot see what the current flap setting is, right? So I guess it's because like most of the time there's like a second pilot in this one. Okay, so to be honest with you guys, like for a moment I have pretty much already decided that I will not record it, right? And that I will start from anew, right? With better fake weather. But now when I'm looking at this one, I kind of think that this was the right decision to go with live weather. That saying, many of you probably wanted to see like Reykjavik, okay, and not just the contours of buildings, right? So please write me in the comments, right? What do you guys prefer? Adventure or being able to see something when it's being promised in the video, right? Okay. So we have turned off the heating, so probably we are like all frozen now. Okay, so let's just come back to it. We can also use some defrost, and let's just warm up the cabin. There are actually two options to warm up the cabin. So this is like a separate heater that is using up fuel, but we also have those two, and I can show you what they are doing, just making sure that we are nice and stable. Okay. Let me just show you. Can I show it to you? Yeah, okay. So here we can see those inlets. Oops, can we? Yeah, we can. Those inlets are open, right? And because they are open, a lot of like cold air is being mixed with the air coming from the turbine, right? Because it's like the turbocharged engine. So we can actually close them a little bit or totally, and this way this air will not be mixed, and the air temperature should go up. At least I have seen it in like a video of like a Cessna. I'm not sure if 413, but like a very similar model, right? And he was explaining it, that this is how it works. So we can try it. I haven't tried it before, so you will be the first ones to see. But before that, let's just benefit from being able to see anything, right? And let's just do some nice sights here. I like this raw beauty of all of those northern countries. Yeah, and I really appreciate this livery. I think it's like a professional livery maker made it for someone that paid. Right? I think this is what the description was. So, I mean, for sure you can see that, like, it is a professional maker, right? It looks really great. Yeah, I think we can get rid of the landing lights. Okay. And so there is something interesting. We do have prop DIs on, right? And I'm just wondering if it's like in the Cessna 310, there, if you had prop ice on and there was some icing building up on the propellers, then you could hear the sound of those like ice crystals and ice shards hitting the hull of the plane, which was totally cool. Here I don't think it's the case, because I was flying it like one time in icing conditions and I couldn't hear anything. That's saying there is visual icing. At least, right? So we would see ice forming here, and also we would see those inflating. Yeah, we can try it out. And we just see. Because it's like first the horizontal stabilizer, and then those. Okay, very nice effect. Okay. I guess so we can slowly prepare for the landing. Hopefully we will be able to see those like beautiful approach that I have promised you. So the decision height there is actually pretty high, because it's also like a fjord. And I think it's at 700 feet. Okay, so let's just set this up before I forget. So this is like a radio altimeter, and it also warns you when you're too close to the ground, which, like, especially in this weather, will be really useful for us. Okay, so as I said, let's try this other option with warming up the cabin, right? So let's just pull it down. First check if it's warm already or not yet. Yeah, it's in the middle, so perfect. Okay, so now we can close it. And just try those. Okay, and we can do an outside view. And they are, well, more closed than before. Okay. I'm not sure if this already will make a difference or if we need more here. Yeah, some beautiful clouds. Okay. Can close them a little bit more. And let's see what the temperature is doing. It's going down. Okay, so let's just totally close them. Open up those. We'll see, maybe it will be better. He actually didn't explain if you also have to like open cabin air, but it would make sense, because from what I could see from the schematics that he was showing, the outflow of this additional heat was also through like the normal ventilation system. Okay, and we can see it going up. Okay, So this way we don't have to use the separate heater. There is also air conditioning for when it would be too hot, right? And you can see it here. If you put it too cool, it will turn on the air conditioning, right? Okay, with this we can switch to nav. So we are close to the magenta line. Okay, some rain, I guess, but we can handle the rain. We have seen worse, right? Nice morning storm over Reykjavik. I just hope, as I said, it's not a sign of things to come when I will be traveling. Okay. So this is still fine. Oh, I guess I was explaining it and playing around with it, but I didn't set it up. So as it is below 4 degrees, right, the windshield heating on low should be on. Okay? But it's only for this one window, not for the other one. Okay, so I guess here is like the bad weather front, so we might miss it. Yeah, I like how like ingenious this is, that they have just used like the standard weather radar, right, but just disguised it as a retro radar by using only green. And I think there is also like a second plane like this one. Not sure, but I have the feeling that I was like flying it not so long ago, but now I don't remember what it was. I'm not sure if we are not flying at peak, which might be bad for the engine, despite us being like in this setting that was in the table. So let's maybe make it a little bit more rich. So we will have rich of peak. And now it's moving down. Okay. So they are recommending either 50 degrees rich or lean of peak. So those will be 2 of those, right? Because one is 25. And the peak was pretty much at the red line. Yeah, I guess we would have to like enrich it a lot. Okay, let's stay like this. Okay, we are on the line into the wind. You can see the plane crabbing a little bit. Let's go to passenger view. I'm just looking at this fuel. I'm not sure if this is enough, but luckily this calculator will tell us. Okay, so we can see time remaining over 1 hour, so we don't need so much time. Okay, there is also a timer that we can like reset and set, just a normal timer, right? Okay, so this should be fine. Okay, it's fine. I want this one because the tables are in this format. Okay. Oh, this is also optimal. Very nice. And let's just enjoy the views. Passenger view. Ooh. There are actually like a lot of people from Poland living and working on Iceland for some reason. I mean, we do have like many like workers, right, in many countries, but on Iceland we are like the biggest minority. From what I know, it's also like a lot of stores, Polish stores there. Yeah, nice. Okay, we are going back into those icy regions. So let me just check. Okay, 47 miles. Do we have the NDB already? No, not yet. Okay, so let's just wait for the NDB to show up. In the meantime, I will just check the weather. Actually, we can do it using the radio. just to be a little bit more retro here. Okay, so let me check. Okay, so 80s should be 136.2. Okay, so here we have COM1, 136.2. Okay. Just a second. Okay. Is it? It is.
Akureyri Airport Information Whiskey, 1600 Zulu. Wind 210 at 4. Visibility 6. Sky condition. Few clouds at 9,400, 13,300 scattered. Temperature 2. Dew point 1. QNH 1000. ILS runway 1 in use. Landing and departing runway 1. BIAR aircraft stay direction of flight.
Okay, let me just take a look. Oh, runway 1. Okay, so this is the more ugly approach. Still, we will just do like a circle landing. So I will just use like the approach that I wanted to show you. Actually, it's only 4 knots wind, right? So it will be the decision of the pilot. I think we can land with 4 knots of tailwind. Okay, so I think we will stay with our plan. Just for eye candy. And also I think it's not unrealistic, right? More or less. And also like the lowest clouds are at 9,400, right? So we should have great visibility. Okay. So it's working out. Let me see what stats we have here. Okay, so ground speed almost 200. So this is fine, but now sadly some wind. Over this like icy wasteland here. Better not to crash here. Okay. Let me just see if we have everything set up. So there's not much left. I can also show you like some details here. So a flight safety manual. Okay. Not sure if I have mentioned it, but like they work, right? If you pop the ADF will be really off. I haven't tried all of them, but I tried some random ones and always it was working, right? So I'm just assuming they are working. Okay. When it comes to state saving, I've tried a couple of things and nothing was working, right? I think the only thing that state saves is the state that you set up here, from what I remember. Let me just show you. So here, like start engines, ready to start, and cold and dark. And maybe some small things, because it was like describing the manual in a very unclear way, but pretty much whatever I tried was not saved, sadly. I think it's also like a thing with the developers here, right? That like for a long time, many people asked them to maybe introduce some wear and tear and like state saving and stuff. And they said that, yeah, maybe yes, maybe not. And like it's already 3 years and I don't count on getting it, especially since they said that there will be no 2024 remake, right? So this is pretty much what we get. It's a pretty excellent plane, right? Okay, no bad weather, finally. And let me just see if there is no terrain that we can collide with. Yeah, it's only like a warning, okay? So it should be fine. But you never know. Okay, let me see. Are there any... There is also like a BIAR. Let me just show you. Okay, close to the airport, 113.6. So I can just tune it in to show you the functionality of the DME. So 113.6. Let's maybe do it on this one because this is more fun. Oh, okay, here. 113.6. Okay. And now let's switch it to VR2. Is it? Yeah, VR1, VR2. Yeah, so it should be this one. Okay, so the ADF is already being recognized. So let's just move into the direction of the NDB in this case. Because it does mark a very nice, safe approach over those mountains here. Maybe it's even this one. Okay, so let's just turn a little bit more. Okay, let me just check. 113.6 here. So I'm not trusting myself that I have set it up correctly. Oh, and we can see it here. Okay. Okay, so 20 miles. And let's just go this way. Seems nice and safe. Okay, we can do an outside view. Yeah, the nose is really long. Okay, and I think this is like this nice valley. Well, throwing us around here. Okay. Okay, now let's just move this way. Maybe not too much. Okay, nice. In general, when we start descending, we would first use the low fuel pump, and then make sure that, where is it? That the cylinder head temperature doesn't go below 1350. Okay, in this case, I don't think we have to fear that. Okay, and I think we are almost there. So let me just get rid of the autopilot. First, let's retract the landing lights. Okay. So let us watch as they are going down. Okay, nice. Other stuff, I guess we can go full mixture now, full propellers. Okay, we don't need the prop sync anymore. And when it comes to the flaps, right, you can see the speeds here. So like the first notch of flaps is at 171, so it's great at losing some speed, right? Okay, autopilot off. We'll just make sure it's nicely trimmed. Okay. And flaps. And those are those like retro flaps, so let me show them to you. Those at the bottom. Okay, let's descend nicely to see some more like details of the terrain here. Just make sure I will have like my flight recorder ready. Okay. Oh, as you could see, like the temperature was much too low. Okay, I didn't notice it because it's playing around with the recorder, right? It's not allowed to go below 1350. And because of like the risk of shock cooling and damaging the cylinders. Okay, so let us do like a nice flyover here. It's some like nice scenic terrain in this case. Okay, seems stable. Take a look at the views here. Yeah, now it looks nice. Also, when it comes to the registration, I wanted an Icelandic one, but sadly, first there was no custom livery from Iceland, and secondly, the option to have a custom number that sometimes works in MSFS2024 in some place was not working for this one, right? So sadly, I didn't have any possibility to like set a correct one up. So let's just assume that somebody from the UK is flying here, right? Okay, let's take a look. So we will be flying to the right. Here is our NDB. It's somewhere here, I guess, or here. Don't remember. And let's just go over the water. Still need to remember about like the cylinder head temperature, especially when it's so cold like here, right? When it comes to propeller de-ice, I think we can get rid of it. Okay, no visible moisture here. Okay, so let's just turn. Okay, this will be our scenic approach. I guess we can even, yeah, so maybe let's go closer to the shore, and then we will just move to the airport. Okay, I just need to figure out the QNH because it's 1000 hectopascal, and I just needed to calculate 29.52. Okay, so 29, seriously? Just strange, because now I'm lost, because the last one that we set up was 29.23. So why is it 52 now? Maybe I clicked like some hotkey, or when I was setting something up I clicked set barrel. I don't know, I don't have anything like this, like normally bound. Okay, sorry. Scenic approach. Okay, scenic approach. So let me just move here. Okay. Yeah, great. They must have like a great view here. Although it might also be pretty loud, I guess, but I would just assume they are not getting that many planes here. Okay. If we do the second notch of flaps, we will get like the gear horn, right? Let me just turn off the yaw damper. Okay. Let's now go over this cruise ship here. We also have those like fishing cutters or whatever they are. So in general, the approach speed is 120 up until the blue band, right? So like this is what the real pilots said, that this is how they fly it. So this is also how we will fly it, right? Okay, turning on record. Have you seen such an approach? It's awesome. Okay, but let's not lose too much height, right? We weren't supposed to go over the blue band. Okay, I do have full flaps now. Let me just find the center of my pedals. I don't know, I think like there is a lot of crabbing here. And in general, when on like very short final, right, you're going below the blue band there, and the touchdown speed is around 90-80. Okay. Sadly, we have some tailwind, but this is the price of having like the scenic view here. Otherwise, we will be going from the other side. Ooh, too much flare. Okay, and touchdown. And this is the second great airport that I have promised you. This is totally free, but sadly requires a fix in 2024. And I will also talk about this one. Actually, there is also like a paid version of it, but I compared the screens from the paid version with the screens from this one, right, that everybody gets, and actually I don't see a difference, okay, or much difference. So for now, if you want to check it out, I would recommend to just save your money and first check out the free one. Okay, so I think it's like one of the most scenic ones, especially with this approach that we could see, right? Okay. So, what do I want to do? I want to turn off the radar, okay? I don't need the landing lights. I don't need the strobe lights. Transponder can go to standby. Okay. And those are on low, so they can just be turned off. Okay. This is actually, they are pretty much only recommending them for climb or when you have problems with the temperatures, right? So we don't have any, so we can keep them. Okay. Let me just. Yeah, nice. Yeah, the passengers on this like, oh, okay, now it's fine. Also have some nice views, right? When planes are coming in. Yeah, wondering what I've clicked to have it set up. Maybe when I was checking. No, wait, I was like listening to the radio. So I didn't even click on anything. So strange. Okay, wait a second, because maybe I missed the line. No, we are fine. And as you can see, lots and lots of detail on this free airport. Okay, now we don't even need the taxi lights. Click. Let's not be that fast. I'm sure we can fit here. Okay, so first like handbrake. Okay, so let's lean it a little bit. Okay, now I can show you the airport. Oops. Yeah, so the fix that is needed to make it work in 2024 is on Flysimware, and I will link it in the video description. What is happening without it is that the runway is below ground level, right? So you will have like high backed cliffs here everywhere. But this fix, as you can see, fixes everything and gives you this wonderful airport for free. Okay, let's just go around. As you can see, lots of detail. Yeah, it just needs to load because I'm moving too fast. Okay. Oh, like a Russian red star. That's unexpected. Okay. Okay, and now we can take a look at the replay. So let me just stop recording. Okay. Show you this one. And then replay. I hope we didn't hit the ship. Okay, no. Totally safe. Okay. Yeah, this looks awesome. This one, this cliff here, and everything around. Yeah, a very long flare. Okay, well, not that bad, not that bad. Yeah, some professional level cinematics here for you guys. Yeah, but this really looks awesome. Okay. Okay, so let's just repeat it. Stop replay, replay. Okay, let's do a passenger view. Okay, nice, nice, nice. Oh, a helipad. Actually, there are like a lot of those around Reykjavik. So there are a lot of companies who are like doing heli tours. Oops, a little bit laggy. Yeah, those new 2024 models for some stuff. Oh, this is amazing. Okay. Okay, pause replay. Let's move it to where we are. Stop replay. Okay, and let's go back into our cockpit, and now we can do like a proper shutdown. Okay, so we don't need you, no cabin heating. Nav lights can stay on as long as we do have the engines on. Okay, no alternators. This can go back to the standard settings. Okay, flaps are up. Okay, so we can just turn off the engines. Okay, nice. Propellers down. Nav lights can go to off. Magnetos off. Oh no, they were on off. That's fine. Okay. Crash bar to off. And then I can show you the high fidelity door. Ugh, so many people. Okay. So unlock. Open the top. Unlock bottom. Open the bottom. And this is it, guys. The Chancellor from Flysimware. Lots of fun. For me, as I said, a little bit too twitchy if not packed full with people for some reason. Like when I was discussing it on the forums, like nobody else noticed. So maybe it's just the placebo effect for me. But as long as you are keeping your textures on the high settings, then it looks great. It always sounds great, which is something that I really appreciate. So not only the buttons and switches and like the engines, like every single detail pretty much seems to have like very refined sound. If I would recommend it at full price, it's kind of $44. So it's pretty much as much, I think, as the Comanche, right? And I'm not sure what the price is of like the Cessna 310, right? That has this functionality plus state saving, wear and tear and stuff, but it's also like a smaller, less complicated plane. And I think a little bit more ugly. And it doesn't have all of those like custom instruments, right? It does have like a standard 6-pack. So in the end, hard for me to say if it's worth it for everyone. But for me, like it's a lot of fun and I don't regret the purchase. Okay. And with this, I thank you for watching, even if the beginning was rather hard to watch, right? So if you stayed with me, thank you. I hope it was worth it. And I see you in future videos. Thank you. Bye-bye.